broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Markeia McCarty, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Ooh, nice.
I was expecting that.
Yeah, you were.
Nice, perfect.
Hey, when the hardcore legend makes an appearance on Monday Night Raw, you gotta play the music to start the show, everybody. Let's get right into it. Welcome, everyone, to the Monday Night Raw After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. We got a full squad in the house, so let's get going right now. We're on AfterBuzz TV, so welcome if you're watching or if you're listening on iTunes. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jonny Loquasto. Follow me at JQuasto. This dude right here is the first progenitor of hyper optimism. See him every single week on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, where I'm usually disgusted by his appearance. But right now we're buddies. But we're keeping it kayfabe.
Is this a first?
We're keeping it kayfabe.
Is this a first for us?
That's the first time we sat next to each other.
Ever?
Yeah.
Ever? Say what?
I think it is.
It's been almost a year that I've been doing this show, and we've never sat next to each other.
I know.
This is groundbreaking, y'all.
It's groundbreaking. Find him on Twitter at Ty Matthews PMA. He's Ty Matthews.
What it do?
What up, man?
Feeling good.
We had a great taping.
A little bit sleepy, a little bit out of it, but I'm good.
I'm sleepy too. I've been up since like 5, but we had a great taping yesterday.
We absolutely did.
Yeah, you had a. Well, I'm not gonna say what happened, but you got to watch Championship.
You got to tune in.
Yeah.
Saturdays.
I am gonna say though, I'm really shipping Loquasto right now.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
OTP.
Hashtag
OTP.
Loquasto.
Get it.
What the hell are we talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I wanted to pretend and play along. I wanted to yes and, but I'm like, I don't know anything. What's OTP?
I don't know.
No. That's you guys' matchup name.
Yeah.
Really?
Shipping you.
Yeah.
Bromance.
Shipping. Oh, I learned what shipping meant last week.
No, what's
Oh,
shipping?
really?
Yeah.
I feel
Shipping.
so old, dude.
Me too.
man.
It's a shorter version of relationship. So if say you have a couple friends that you want to get them together, you're like, I'm gonna ship you two together.
Oh, so dating.
It's like wishing two people would date.
Because there's just
Like
so
fandoms.
much raw chemistry there.
Yeah.
Like the way
Kind of
people
like-
wish that Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose were dating.
It's Ambrains. Yeah, that's Ambrains.
So what are we OTP?
That's exactly right. OTP is one true pair.
What the hell is that?
Yeah,
Where did that come from?
Oh, you don't know any
That's
of this.
like Ross and Rachel on Friends of the OTP.
That's why I didn't
We
understand
are
the word.
going
She's
way
talking about
off the
shipping
rails,
us an
guys.
OTP. I'm like, what? Is that an
I
acronym?
thought she was talking about Prilosec OTP.
I get heartburn too. We all get heartburn.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that OTC?
OTC, whatever.
Speaking of which, this
OPP?
guy
Yeah, you know me.
one of our very good friends. You can find him every week. Watch him on Paragon Pro Wrestling, and we've been buddies quite a long time. You also have seen him on Monday Night Raw in the past. In a scene with Ryback that was awkward.
Yeah, it's cool to see 0 people react to Ryback tonight after he slapped the shit out of me a couple years ago.
So hard.
That was cool.
So
but I put him over, man. We just didn't get him quite there. You know what I mean? It didn't
That
work
was
out.
the good gimmick. You can find him on Twitter at XTN Cole. He's Christian Cole.
Christian Cole in the house. Thank you for having me, and I'm glad to be here.
No doubt.
And a new face here. I haven't met until today.
There's
She's
been
a-
a lot of shakeups.
She's a vet here at AfterBuzz, but she joined us full time just a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago ish.
Nice.
And she's a very funny
When a
actress and
particular someone
improviser.
went missing.
Yeah, she went somewhere.
And we'll get to her.
Moved upwards and onwards.
Love her.
Yeah, we'll see. She's doing some good
But
stuff.
then I get to see this beautiful relationship flower.
There you go. See?
We
Private
shipping, y'all.
ATP.
We just shipping.
No, that's not. Don't.
That's
no.
not. That's not. No. That's not.
Hey, I'm Markeia McCarty.
Why not Twitter? I'm Markeia McCarty. She's Markeia McCarty.
Yeah, improviser, comic, stand-up, sketch, and all the such. And I'm basically, I love wrestling. Have loved it since a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm basically just here for the fangirlness, I guess.
We're here for the party.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
I'm
We
not the
got,
fangirl Johnny is, obviously.
No doubt. No doubt. Plenty to talk about. Tonight was odd, to say the least.
Sure.
But we did start off with an interesting match here. We got New Day versus Rusev and ADR for the Tag Team Championship from League of Nations.
And right off the bat, we've got to talk about a familiar shirt that we saw in the crowd, obviously.
Yeah.
yeah.
Some dude wearing a unicorn and a I'm a Kathy Kelly guy t-shirt.
Oh, nice.
That was awesome.
Sweet.
Get it.
Yes. And thanks, Claire Bowery, for
What's up,
tagging
girl?
us on that. Yeah, otherwise I wouldn't have seen
That's
it.
Didn't tag me,
amazing.
Claire Bowery.
Yeah.
It might be Bowie.
Bowie.
Nor.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Bowie.
She's
I
in the
hope it's
UK, I
Bowie.
believe.
But Kathy
One of our
Kelly,
favorite
though,
fans. I know,
T-shirts
right?
What
popping
are the
up
odds?
all over the place.
What are the odds of a camera shot
What are
getting
the odds
that
of a
shirt?
beautiful girl with a ton of talent having fans around the world?
No, not
are the
that, you
odds?
Jack. I'm talking about the fact that you can see, like, the one T-shirt, bam,
You can
like
see
right
it.
Just
there.
very
there.
prominently
Yeah.
displayed.
Especially because it's just like the Paul Heyman one, so it's
It looks
it's
really good.
pretty dope.
Love
Yeah.
it.
So.
Fashiz, was there wrestling tonight or no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
There was some interesting stuff going on. So let's get right into it because we don't have that much. We got 40 minutes left, so we got to get right into it. Long story short, Xavier Woods gets a roll up for the win, but Xavier did some very innovative stuff. But after the match is when destruction took over. League of Nations completely decimated the entire New Day. I'm talking like old school style. We're talking bull hammers, bro kicks, double stomps. Oh my! And then the accolade. And so, Ty Matthews, do you think this is a turn for the New Day, or is it just we have no one to put New Day with? Let's get League of Nations real over his heels, and let's get him ready for Mania.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think they're trying to make the New Day into full-fledged, sympathetic babyfaces. The necessity of which I'm not entirely sold on.
Yeah.
But I think it's also just the fact that they didn't have anything for New Day or League of Nations, so they figure throw them all together. Let's have a big multi-man tag team match at Mania. Tag team match. But I don't know if the New Day's gonna have an extra partner or if it's just gonna be 4-on-3, 3-on-3. Who knows?
Yeah.
A lot of question marks, y'all.
Markeia.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that they've transitioned from New Day sucks to New Day rocks with the audience. If you guys remember back when they first
Well,
started.
I feel like the audience has been saying rocks for a long time.
Yeah, well, I remember still when it was sucks and they didn't have all their awesome merch.
Yeah.
So I also kind of like the idea of them having like this big wrestling gumbo pot full of all of these wrestlers. Throw in League of Nations, throw in New Day. I thought it was a beatdown of epic proportions, and I am glad that New Day won.
They did a good job, but afterwards, I mean, they put afterwards they did put a challenge out. So WrestleMania, it looks like we are going to have the tag team titles on the line between these two.
I think
Do you think it's going to be a title match, or do you think it's just going to be either a 6-man or an 8-man?
I'd be disappointed if it's not a title match.
Me too.
To
But
be honest.
disappointing things have certainly happened at Mania's past.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be some kind of stipulation, I think. Right?
Not necessarily. I think being a 6-man or an 8-man tag could be stipulation enough.
Yeah.
Especially for how early on the card I think it's going to be.
Yeah, this certainly could be leading off WrestleMania, but who really knows? Moving on, I want to go to you next. So Dean Ambrose hits the ring and says, I almost became champ Saturday night. Triple H learned what happened when you take me lightly, when you don't show me proper respect. Paul Heyman comes out and basically says he wants to protect Dean Ambrose from Brock Lesnar. He just says, we're not going to touch you now. We're going to kill you at WrestleMania. Heyman leaves. Brock walks towards the ring. Ambrose pulls out a crowbar. Lesnar does that cool, fake charge and then backs away. It looks like this match is absolutely... We're thinking, I know on Saturday, we were talking about maybe at Roadblock, what if there was some kind of weird switcheroo to where all of a sudden Lesnar, was going after the title because Dean Ambrose would win. That didn't happen.
Right.
So now it looks like we just got ourselves a big-ass street fight.
Yeah, I think, for me personally, it didn't make much sense to have Dean Ambrose, your big baby face, your underdog, come out with a crowbar for the equalizer against Brock Lesnar. It kind of tells the audience that, well, I can't beat this guy up on my own, so I might as well bring a crowbar to the ring. I dislike that. I thought that him having a crowbar and being more hardcore, the McFoley endorsement later on in the show, we'll talk about that, but those are the type of things that develop his character, and I like that. But the idea that me and you were about to fight one-on-one, let me just pull out a weapon, just kind of makes me think to myself, well, does he have any confidence that he could beat this monster?
But you don't think
Brock
that
Lesnar.
you don't think that
Interesting
speaks to Dean Ambrose's character? The fact that he's a lunatic and he knows that he's going to need a crowbar?
I do. I think you're right. You touch on it. Speaking about his character, I get that. I just don't think that our baby faces should be pulling out weapons. We want to see him actually be able to win. And if we had another, just real quick, if we had another beatdown tonight of Brock beating him and him loving it and licking his blood and loving all that, it's better than don't touch me because I'll beat your ass with a crowbar. It's like, dude, that's a heel thing to do. I didn't understand it personally, but and I love Ambrose and I love where they're going with this this masochistic feeling that he's giving off, that he doesn't mind the pain. I just didn't like the equalizer, so that was my thing.
Something that I really enjoy about what they're doing with Ambrose is that he's very good about walking that fence. Yes, very much a heel move to pull out that crowbar, but it still doesn't tip him over into all the way heel. Especially because you have like this gigantic rock of a man that he's like going up against.
Yeah.
So it's like it's almost relatable for me, where it's like, you know what? Yeah, why didn't I think about bringing a crowbar to this fight?
Right.
If only because I don't want the fight to happen now.
And I think it's because we've seen all of those beatdowns before.
Oh my God,
And
he
so
gets beat down.
I feel like if there's any baby faces that are allowed to have those heel tendencies, it's Ambrose.
Yeah.
And I feel it's more an evening of the odds at this
I guess
point.
I just don't buy at this point, especially with what they were selling tonight, that he's going to be able to beat him in a fair and square 1, 2, 3 match. You know what I mean? And I want to believe that about my heroes. I want them to be able to win, David and Goliath style.
Sure.
I don't want there to be any reason to think that Dean Ambrose shouldn't be able to beat up anybody in the company. He should. He's in the company. He's one of the best.
Right.
But Brock Lesnar is one of the greatest athletes of all time.
Yes.
And it will be a street fight. It will be no DQ. So
Has that been already said and done? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, there you
he's
go.
the only
Pretty
man
much.
to take down the Undertaker. I'd go into the ring with a chainsaw.
right, exactly.
That's true.
Yeah.
Next, Ryback versus Sin Cara. Sin Cara is looking more like Mortal Kombat than Lucha Dragon, dressed in all black.
I was thinking Black Panther. I was thinking a little Civil War.
Good choice.
You know?
Good choice. Ryback, he actually kind of just grounded him a little bit, hit some holes, but eventually 2 shell shocks for the win, all while staring at Kalisto. And then he gets on the mic, and I kind of dig this. It's going back to the character, the big guy when he had you in the shower. That sounds weird, but you know what I'm saying. He says, this is what happens when a good big guy meets a good little guy, size matters, then challenges Kalisto at WrestleMania for the U.S. title.
When he said that, then I know exactly the bit that you did.
Oh,
with
you remember me
Ryback,
from
and
Raw?
I knew it exactly.
You remember me from my near-death experience with a monster of a man?
Oh, he slapped the fish out of
who
you.
slapped the crap out of me and then said, "Didn't get you in the ear, did I, brother?" And I said, "No, you didn't." And he was the nicest dude on planet Earth. But that segment still haunts me to this day. Thank you. Memes are coming. I know it right already, Mustafa.
My impression of you two in the shower is when you're holding the bag, he's like, fill it up with water.
Oh, I remember that.
Fill it up with water.
And I forgot during the segment that he was going to hit me because we were live, and so when it happened, that reaction was very nice.
Filmed live?
We filmed it live.
Way to
yeah.
go. It was fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. Sweet. Got my ass whooped live.
Dude, well
Hell
worth it.
yeah.
Let's get into it, guys.
So what do we think about this? Ryback versus Kalisto for the U.S. title at WrestleMania. I love the way they're going with Ryback. We already talked about this in the show. I think this is the most. I love the fact he's been kicking ass, taking names, leaving the ring, bouncing.
You are the only one, I would say.
This is
because
better
it
than
doesn't
it-
seem to me.
It's better than what he's been doing.
And I agree with that 100%. I'm glad the RVD tights are out. The trunks are in. I like the big guy. I like all the stuff. I don't necessarily think he's not carrying the angle properly. I think he's doing his job, but the crowd hasn't bit yet, and it's a little close to WrestleMania. I mean, it seemed like crickets during his match tonight, in my opinion. Although I think he's got talent and he could take it somewhere. Where is it going right now, and do people really give a crap?
Right.
Yeah, kind of going off of what the message, you see what he's trying to do, but it also seems a bit muddled. When he first did the behind the scenes with Kalisto, where he gave him that long speech and it basically boiled down to, you have to get rid of Sin Cara, me and you are going after this, instead of just saying that. So it's like this whole match, let's be honest, it was Sin Cara and Ryback. That should have just been he sits on his head, his head explodes, and he stares Kalisto down as he grabs the mic. So it's like the message is getting a little bit muddled. I get what he's saying, but this is a roundabout
Well, he kind of
way.
did sit on his head, though. It was as close to a squash match as I've seen on Raw in a very long time. And I think that they made the example of one luchador to try and sell the match with the other, and the idea.
Right.
So the psychology's all there. It's just, do people care?
And I do
What do you think,
think,
Ty? Do people care about this match, or what's going on?
as much as they can, which might be damning with faint praise. I think they had lightning in a bottle when Ryback first debuted, and then at Hell in a Cell with Punk, that all went away.
Yeah.
And I don't think they've ever been able to get it back to
Yeah.
that level. So I think that's maybe why people aren't really buying him as a championship contender. But
Yeah,
Jen.
fair enough.
I mean, doesn't it seem like all of a sudden there's a ton of matches that are developing for Mania? I mean, usually...
well, yeah.
we have
You didn't hear, dude? It's 11 hours this year.
I guess it is. Because usually we have, 8-ish matches. Now it seems like... The problem is, I think, a lot... And I know injuries have a lot to do with this, and I get it. But the storyline development leading up to WrestleMania generally should take a while, and a lot of these are being
they had. I mean, between Royal Rumble, Fastlane, and Roadblock, there have been 3 events already, even before WrestleMania.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think the addition of Roadblock is something that they haven't had to deal with before.
Yeah.
And it is happening in Texas this year, and everything's bigger in Texas, so
yeah,
why not have all the matches? But Johnny.
Yeah, well, actually, before we move into... Actually, we want to give a shout-out to... They did a really nice tribute to dogs in wrestling because Burger King has hot dogs now, which makes plenty of sense. Mad Dog Vachon, Drunk Yard Dog, and Road Dog, all 3.
Who's your favorite
favorites.
of those 3 quasts?
Oh, man, you know me, JYD.
JYD.
Come on. I mean, that's what I grew up... the first wrestling event I ever went to, he was in the main event.
Oh, okay,
There you go.
nice. Yeah.
Him and Outlaw Ron Bass.
Grab them cakes.
JYD's the best of the dogs. No disrespect to Mad Dog with Sean.
Mad Dog was
They're awesome.
amazing, but Grab Them
JYD,
Cakes,
man.
one of the greatest wrestling songs of all time.
Yes.
That seems ridiculous.
Like, let's not start singing it because we won't stop.
Yeah.
You go for your partners. You know what? Okay, sorry. Time for a live read, guys. Big news. All right, are you? You know, I'm just gonna speak from the heart because I love Kevin Undergaro, I love Roxy Stryer, and we're fans of everyone on the show. Here's the deal: TheTomorrowShow.com. Our friend Kevin Undergaro, the fiance of Marina Menounos, because he asked her for her hand in marriage just last week on the Howard Stern show. He has a brand new show. Here's the deal. He's going through a bit of a midlife crisis, right? And he also has a lot of fun Hollywood stories, along with tons of references from Roxy and Ashley and the other co-hosts on the show. So you're going to enjoy it. Here's the deal. Go to TheTomorrowShow.com. You're going to join Kevin and Roxy and Ashley and the whole rest of the crew. You can watch live Monday and Thursday nights, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific time. On TheTomorrowShow.com, you can subscribe and download for free on iTunes. And it's simple, TheTomorrowShow.com. Watch it, give it a shot, you're going to enjoy it, and we support them 110%. Because Kevin and Maria are the reason that all of us are here. They built this entire studio to give people an opportunity to talk about the shows they love and to grow as a host and to get them skills up to par. So I think we all owe it to them to support the show and to enjoy it. So
Amen, my brother.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
Bam.
Get it.
Move it. Steph introduces Triple H, and he says the authority always wins. And I really enjoyed this promo comparing Dean Ambrose to all of us peons, right? He makes fun of the fans and who bitch about the authority. I love how he pointed some dudes out in the crowd and just, you don't ever leave your hometown. You get drunk every weekend. You complain about the authority. You know, you complain about your bosses, and all you do is live on hope, which is nothing. And that's why you love Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns will also fail at WrestleMania. I enjoyed the heck of it. This is like kind of old school Triple H promo.
Yeah,
Sure.
It was kind of like a flashback to Drunk Uncle at Christmas.
Bit.
the one that thinks he's a libertarian.
That's
Yeah.
all right.
I like it.
That's something.
Yeah, Triple H cut a promo that made me feel like I believed every single thing he was saying, and I loved it. I loved the little half smile that was very real that was on his face when he knew. And by the way, his wife's so fine, by the way, and much love to Steph and Triple H, but she's in the back and she knew that he was doing a good promo, and you could see it in her eyes standing behind him like, oh my God, and like. That whole segment was awesome. Best segment of the show as far as I'm concerned. He's selling that match, and then Dolph Ziggler shows up, right? Mm-hmm. And I thought that his believability and his he was so genuine is what I'm trying to say, in the way that he delivered his I don't care if you fire me, I don't have anything to lose here in this company, and it was very real for me, and that whole segment came across very well, very real.
Ziggler crushed it. This is the best I think Ziggler's been in a long time, because he wasn't trying to be funny.
Right.
He wasn't trying to be a character. He just came out and spoke for the people that have been bitching for years about, like, why is Dolph Ziggler not where everyone thinks he should be. And I love the fact that he's like, I have nothing to lose. I'm going to be here as long as I can be. I'm never going to quit no matter what you do to me. And that's when Triple H says, I'm not going to fire you. I'm just going to do what's good for business. So maybe you should join us. And he's like, nah, dog. I would never side with you or your idiotic wife. And that's when it got real.
Yeah.
Did you guys think when the tie and the suit, when he came out, that there was a chance he was going to join them? Yeah, right?
Yes,
I dug that.
absolutely.
I
Was it
didn't.
cool?
I didn't.
You didn't feel that way?
I totally
No way.
thought
When
so.
because when he busted out through the entrance and he's wearing the suit, and I go, well, this could go that way. And as soon as they said something to him, he was like, never in a million years. So he squashed it immediately. But for a second, I was like, ooh, that could be cool. Like
Interesting,
A
all right.
new Seth Rollins role for him or something like that.
So it's more like dressing for his possible exit interview as opposed to I'm coming over to your
that.
side.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen, because, we don't know if he has a WrestleMania match, because they make a match. Steph makes a match, actually, Triple H versus Ziggler tonight. And that's the hope that they're going to give him and all the idiots in Pittsburgh.
I love how riled up she got. She's
Right?
like, "You want me to fire you?" And that one eye started popping out of her head. Oh, I love her.
And the look, I did love the look on Triple H's face when she made that match. Like, hey, we didn't talk about this. We didn't really discuss this.
Yeah, a little bit. He was like trying to be tough, and he's like, "Wait, what?
Right.
I'm tired from Saturday."
Right, exactly.
What do you do? I love that segment. What do you think?
It's good stuff.
Okay. Yeah, Triple H, I love when he really, he gets into it. And then Ziggler, like you said, it was very real.
Super real.
Which was good stuff to see. Next match, Kevin Owens sitting on commentary for Sami Zayn versus The Miz. This is a fun ending. Kevin Owens gets annoying by ringside. Miz hits him from behind, which allows somehow Zayn gets him in the ring, hits a haluva kick for the win. Where, Ty Matthews, is this all going?
A multi-man match for the IC title.
Are we talking ladder?
Not necessarily ladder. It could be. I don't know. If you get Neville in there, I'd say ladder definitely. But I think we're gonna see. I think I've been saying. I think we're gonna see Owens, Zayn, Miz, Neville, Ziggler, maybe throw Stardust in there.
Yeah.
All battling over the IC title. That's what I'm thinking.
Wow.
Look at Ty Matthews.
Get it?
That's a lot of people.
That sounds good to me, and it sounds like exactly where they're going with this. They're going to have to include many people on the roster in this show. If you don't see Ziggler and those guys in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which they've been doing every year, you're likely going to see them in that multi-man title match.
Yeah. As much as I would love for it to be Zayn versus Owens 1-on-1 at Mania, I don't think that they trust that the fans are as familiar or comfortable with Zayn as it would take for that to be
I don't know what else they have to prove.
Oh, believe me, I feel you on that.
But you guys don't think that Zayn's reactions have been a little flat since his comeback? I mean, I think they can build on it, and I think people who love him, but I think they're with the WWE universe. You have to realize that it's a huge difference between that and NXT, and
Right.
I think most of the crowd are still learning about who he is again.
Right.
So.
Wow, but they were really on board with that finishing move, like
Tonight.
that full kick to the face and it was like slow fall back cover.
Oh, sure.
And then just stare down right at Kevin Owens.
Well,
Like the
and-
audience loved that.
Yeah, and I think this match was a perfect showcase for Zayn because he busted out damn near everything in his arsenal. He got the plancha, he got the moonsault off the barricade, he got the moonsault feint in the ring. I mean, just all of his best stuff minus the torpedo DDT through the ropes.
Yeah.
It's basically I think that was just everyone saying, "Hey, here's a million reasons why you should love this guy."
Yeah.
But I do think that the mainstream WWE universe, if you want to call it that, doesn't have the same context that the NXT fans do to make this the blood feud that it needs to be.
Yeah, I would hold that match until Money in the Bank or one of the pay-per-views after.
Right.
I see your point there. I mean, Joseph Boza has an idea here similar to yours. 5-way match: Sammy, KO, Miz, Big Show, and maybe Dolph. I don't know about Big Show, but it could end up being a 4. But I think you're right. I mean, as much as everyone wants to see that, why not take your time and build it? If you want to do a multi-man match, keep the storyline going during this match. Have one of them take the other out or something to that extent, and then maybe keep going from there.
Sure.
And then it gets more. Because, I mean, if you put those 4 in a match, it's going to be entertaining. I love what The Miz is doing.
Yeah.
And you
Oh
put
yeah,
that
no
whole-
matter what they go with, it's gonna be good stuff for sure. Just a matter of what permutation of people we're gonna see.
Yes.
I'd love to see an elimination match with Zayn and Owens being the last 2.
And that's
Oh,
Jimbo.
that's
that'd
good.
be
That's a
nice.
really good
Oh,
call.
there you go. That's Jimbo. That's Jimbo Slice. Otherwise known as
Oh, Jimbo Slice.
He's our god, but that's Jimbo Slice.
Gotcha.
James
I
Frank.
like that, Jimbo.
Yeah, good idea, Jim.
That a boy. Renee Young backstage at League of Nations. Real simple. League of Nations say, tonight we sent a message. It was loud and clear. Nobody makes fun of us. They challenge the New Day at WrestleMania, and it won't be a comedy. It'll be a tragedy. So, bam! We'll see if that happens. I guess it's going to happen. Sure. Brie Bella and Alicia Fox versus Tamina and Naomi. Well, Lana hits the ring right away, sits on top of the announcer's table again. Brie gets those kicks in, some yes kicks, and knee to Tamina. And then a Brie buster off the second rope, which is cool.
Oh, that was gorgeous.
It was, but then Lana just gets on the apron because why not?
She was like, I'm getting into ring. Yes, it's okay.
She
Yes.
was playing like a little 5-year-old that didn't know what the hell she was doing.
Yeah.
Hey, it was a very funny distraction for me.
Yeah,
That's
So
a
weird.
nice turn on.
yeah. At least like pull a leg or something. Instead of just like, no, I lost an earring. It's in there.
It's like
Yeah.
no, they say it's okay. They say it's okay. I'm
Right.
going in.
It's okay. So she gets on the apron, and then a combo move from Tamina and Naomi on Brie for the win, which was a thing of beauty.
Yes.
And so after the match, Foxy gets mad. She gets in the face of Lana, but then she turns around, double drop kick from Tamina.
Double super kick.
Double super kick, I'm sorry. Double super kick from Tamina and Naomi. And that's pretty much it. Lana leaves happy. Yeah. So
it was, this segment was a little bittersweet. As much as I hate distraction finishes, I hate even more when there are matches with multiple distractions in the exact same match. Because we saw Lana's music and entrance distracting Brie at the very beginning, and then it happened exactly the same way at the very end.
Preach, brother. I'm hearing everything you're saying. I thought it, you said it.
Right.
I think there's a lot of fans who see that stuff too.
Yeah, and it's just, I hate it because it definitely makes Brie look bad in this situation, because all right, you already got distracted once and you got beaten up for it, and now it's going to happen again and you lose because of it.
Right.
So like,
Well,
at a certain point you have to accept
Protect the ref, protect Brie, you have to protect everybody.
Right, you
Not
have
everyone's
to,
an idiot with these
at a
distractions.
certain point in theory, when you're a WWE superstar, you have to accept that sometimes you'll hear surprise entrance music, and you can't let it.
You can't be like,
Hang on, what?
yeah.
Well, in Brie's defense, the second distraction was all for the ref. She was getting her butt beat at the time, so it was the ref that was trying to be like, no. How do I in Russian say you can't get in the ring?
But Brie had to go over and look at Lana closer. While wearing those heels, you know that Lana's not going to get in the ring.
I know, there were too many straps going on. Those weren't coming off.
I mean, this all really has kind of come out of nowhere. Lana just decided to choose to have a problem with Brie Bella.
Right. And I feel like it might be a little bit early to fantasy book this, even though we're only a few weeks away, but it looks like they're heading towards Lana and Team Bad versus Paige, Alicia Fox, and Brie Bella.
That really makes no sense, though.
You know why I'm disappointed
It's like
by that?
anti-squad goals for you.
That is, it's super anti-squad goals, because the Divas Revolution is supposed to be about uplifting divas individually, taking divas and turning them into superstars, not protecting them in tag matches and 5-woman Royal Rumbles and all the crap that they put in there. I want to see girls built into superstars, and the only way you do that is with one-on-one victories with one person on their back and the other one 1, 2, 3.
With belts that don't have butterflies on them.
With belts that don't have butterflies.
What?
We just became best friends.
There it is.
It's so ridiculous.
And I get it. Everyone wants to be
on.
in WrestleMania, and we want everyone to be in WrestleMania. But when the story doesn't call for it, they have not had Paige in anything relevant in a couple of months. So, is she good enough to be at WrestleMania? Sure, but the storylines haven't dictated that. And even Brie, up until 3 weeks ago, was doing next to nothing.
Right.
So
I feel you.
They're trying to have something besides the Charlotte, Becky, Sasha thing.
Right.
It's like, what else do they have?
I totally support them in a Divas match, but when you just throw a bunch of people in a match, you just risk nobody.
Let's give them the benefit of the doubt, Johnny, and hope that they're doing exactly. We're assuming that they're going to put it in a 6-way.
Yeah, this is very early on.
That's not the case.
But I think it'll be a 6-person tag with 3 on one side, 3 on the other.
Then get out.
Well, I'll be going now.
Well, maybe they don't want Lana to have a solo match yet. Who knows?
Exactly. Yeah, I think
she
that's
might
part
not
of it.
be quite up there yet.
But if I may, that double team from Tamina Naomi was pretty dope.
That
Some
was
shades of
nice.
Motor City Machine Guns.
But didn't
anyone-
who's the fake Legion of Doom? What's their names?
Ascension.
Yeah, didn't they do something similar where it's a sweep out body slam move?
Well, they're
Follow Man,
the one with Tamina and Naomi was more of a combination power slam neck breaker.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. If anyone has earned, out of all these people we're talking about, if anyone has earned a spot at WrestleMania, it's Naomi.
Oh,
Sure.
yes.
She's
Hell yes.
by far the most fun to watch in the ring. She's the most athletic, and she's been consistent for a long time now. So, if she's in it, great.
And the new T-shirt that they just came out with is pretty dope.
Oh, for her?
Yeah,
I did not see that.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
And her gear is just, she knows how to look good.
It's got the light up
it's
shoe
her
on
gear.
it.
Yeah, and she has Snapchat now, so.
Oh, yeah?
All good
There's also
things.
that.
All good things.
Learn something new every day. Social Outcast, once again selling Burger King hot dogs. Axel gets...
That's cool. I'm going to go to sleep for a minute, guys.
We're done.
Just hit me up when it's over.
Actually, they made it work, to be honest. Not easy.
It wasn't nearly as bad as some of the other product placements have been.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't.
Adam Rose's entire career, by the way, has been about holding up cheeseburgers and,
That's true.
and Frosties
This is
and whatever
true.
the hell else.
But
they
it was at least funnier and more entertaining than Natalia eating the Subway to stay
Oh
fit.
my god.
Speaking of which, though, Natty crushed it versus Charlotte at Roadblock.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And not to get on too much of a roadblock tangent, but that NXT tag title match on that show
Sick.
was hot as hell. You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Bring Enzo and Cass up, guys.
I mean, I thought all the matches were really good. It was a solid show all the way through. I enjoyed the heck out of it, but you're right. The two tag teams really brought it. And as did Natty and Charlotte. Loved it. All right, JoJo backstage with Paige. We kind of already talked about this a little bit. Paige calls herself a successful diva. Lana starts making fun of her. Paige gets back in her face. Then Tamina and Naomi, they actually back up Lana, and they all walk off together. Okay. Renee with Charlotte. Charlotte says Sasha isn't the boss. She's still the same little girl that she was when she started NXT. And then Becky, she's always just hoping to be involved in something. And then I love what Rick said here. He goes, 2 weeks after Charlotte got to NXT, she called me and said, Dad, there's 2 girls here that are going to be great, so I got to be better. Loved it.
I like it.
Yeah, it's not a great impression.
No, but you got
Hey, for effort.
tried.
Hey,
You tried,
for effort.
man, yeah.
We got honesty over here.
Appreciate you. But no, I dug that. That, like, Rick, what he said was really smart.
Exactly, and I like
Yeah.
that a lot because it's the best feuds. You know, you can't bury whoever it is you're working with, and I think that this went that extra mile in letting us know that Charlotte, while she does think that she's superior, she's that way because she knew that she had to be on the level as these 2 other great competitors.
No doubt. And she certainly is, which is great. That's a match that, whew,
Yeah,
I'm excited.
That's going to be a really good one. I'm looking forward to that one.
that better be towards the end of the show so it has ample time.
Right.
If we have a bunch of matches
That could be it could be the palate cleanser between Brock and Dean and the title match, or the Hell in the Cell and the title match. One of those 3. I think it'll be in the final 4 matches.
They'll get 10 to 12 minutes too.
They better have more
I
than
think.
that.
I think
Because
that,
honestly, when you have a bunch of matches that are being put together that don't have much of a storyline, these 3 do. I'd be thrilled if they got at least 20. They should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they would fill it up.
Here's the thing.
It would be gorgeous.
If the entire card has been built for months and months and months and all these stories coming together finally, great. But that's not the case.
Right.
So why not give these 3 women the match that they deserve when a storyline has been developed?
Sure.
Holy cow, they'd tear it up. And they will tear it up, so fingers crossed on that. Usos defeat Bo Dallas and Adam Rose rather quickly. Shout out to the Social Outcast gear, though.
Yeah, in the victory lap before
The
the
bow
match.
train. The bow train.
The bow train.
Yeah.
Oh, love
Love
that.
it.
Dudley Boys at ringside, of course. Outcasts take advantage early on, but Usos get the splash for the win. Once again, another match that Usos and Dudleys?
I think we could see a couple more teams added to it.
Yeah, and they've been kind of building that, you know, with the whole, oh, we're not going to do tables. Oh, we're doing tables.
Right.
Oh, we smash you through tables. No more tables.
Right.
So we're going to have some more of that happen.
I guess. Yeah.
Oh, you sound so disappointed.
No,
Johnny.
I'm good. Trust me, I'm very excited. I just, you know, it's some weeks are better than others. Last week at Raw, we were just super pumped. Tonight, we're just trying to, you know, put.
I mean, it's been every week for 23 years. They can't all be zingers.
Exactly, and that's okay. We're just being honest, you know, and nothing wrong with that. We got a couple more weeks to build it all up. It's gonna be great. So Dean Ambrose back in the locker room, approached by Mick Foley, and he asks, you know, why do you want to fight Brock Lesnar while we're here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania?
Love it.
Shout out to Pennsylvania.
Cheap pop.
Because that is where Mick Foley almost broke himself in half
Ugh.
Oh yeah.
off that Hell in a Cell. Back
Can you
in
believe that's already been how long
18
has
years.
it been? 18 years?
1998.
Damn.
God, you can still just see in your mind's eye him coming through this.
Oh, and he tells the story on stage now. Like when I was lucky enough to open for him a couple weeks ago, and he tells that story with such vivid detail about what it was like the moment before he went off and when he hit, and it's a terrifying endeavor to see what he did.
Sure. And he's talked about before how the bump off of the cell through the table is the one that everyone remembers, but the choke slam through the top of the cell into the ring hurt way more.
Yeah.
Especially because the chair landed on his face.
Oh.
Especially because his teeth went through his nose.
There was also
My
that.
God, he's smiling.
That was cool.
And he's
Which
like,
was bad.
he says that, he goes,
You
I
remember
was
that,
not
right?
smiling.
Yeah.
I was not smiling at all. Anyways, he said, so why'd you go off to Hell in a Cell? And Mick Foley says, well, I was terrified, but I'm Mick Foley, and that's what I did. And that's when Ambrose says, well, I'm Dean Ambrose, and this is what I do. And he says, all right. And then you got to do something original. You got to take Brock Lesnar on a ride.
Yeah.
Give me this crowbar. Consider this a passing the torch. And in that box is a beautiful Louisville Slugger wrapped in a little bit of barbed wire.
A little bit. Or a lot of it.
A lot of it.
And the nostalgia begins to set in immediately from the era where Mick Foley was the most dangerous man on planet Earth when it came to pro wrestling. And it was because of the weapons. And contradicting myself from earlier, it was okay that a babyface would come in there and kill people with weapons because he was overweight and he was the kind of guy you went and had popcorn and saw a movie with.
Right.
And then he had 4 characters, and in one Royal Rumble, all 4 characters came out, and I love the parallels between Dean Ambrose and Mick Foley because it's so obvious and apparent that that's what they should be doing.
Right.
Now, what we can only hope for is that when this match goes down with Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar, that it is a violent match that we can remember that makes all this build make sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then at the end of it, he says, "Have a nice day."
I mean, Markeia, when you see a man pull out a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire, you think it's going to be a mess, right? It's going to have to be a mess.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't have something like that and not expect for there to be some how do you put it, color.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Red is green, brother.
It's just going to be kind of like with not to skip ahead too much, but Triple H later on. It's like it's going to be like that. It's going to come out of nowhere because you're not going to really expect it, but deep down in, you'll be like, oh no, this is happening. And you kind of crave it a little bit. And
Sure.
It's that little 8-year-old kid in us when we first started watching wrestling. It's like, this means it's real.
Right. And I think I love like you said, the parallels between Ambrose and Foley. And I don't know if you know, but back when Ambrose was known as John Moxley, they had a lot of interaction.
Yep.
And it was a lot of interaction that even people in wrestling weren't sure if it was real. You know, Moxley
there was an old storyline that didn't happen.
Moxley would show up at Foley's hotel and berate him, and it would be really genuine and believable.
And Mick loved that.
And so I love kind of the passing of the torch. I think it's he cut his teeth in CZW, a company
Literally, he cut his teeth a lot.
Built on violence. So I think we're going to see a little bit more of that.
Yeah, I mean, there's matches that you could find on CZW's, whether it's website or online, that are they're painful. They're hard to watch. I mean, I saw a triple threat between Ambrose and a couple other dudes that, in front of hardly anybody, that spilled outside and just got completely insane. It's like he can go that level. And at WrestleMania 32, I think him and Lesnar are going to take it there. Yeah. But first, Triple H versus Dolph Ziggler. Damn, what a match this was! Wow, Triple H just pulled off a great one on Saturday with Dean Ambrose. Pulls off another great one tonight. So many fantastic spots, amazing false finishes, and finally, though, a pedigree for the win. But I mean, kudos to these guys. Who wants to give credit first? The floor is whoever.
I'll take it first, because it started with that promo in the ring with Steph, Triple H, and Dolph Ziggler, and he was passionate and he was convicted in what he believed, and it was a bit of a shoot in talking about having nothing to lose and being held down by the system. And then you say to yourself, all right, well, prove it. And before the show was over, he proved it. And Triple H made him look amazing, and I think he earned Triple H's respect in that match probably even more, because I don't know that they've worked a lot together, especially in the last 3 years.
Right.
So you have a 2-time world champion who usually gets treated like a jobber by a lot of the ways that they write him in and the ways that they book him. And tonight, again, he proves he should be the man. I'd love to see him join the Authority down the line and have that a heel run again. I don't think he's a viable enough babyface to keep him in that position at this time.
Agreed.
So let him be heel, have Triple H somehow work this match into a storyline where he respects him, and let's keep watching Ziggler do his thing. I don't want to see him leave. I think he's serious. I think that this might be a guy who might not want to sign a contract next time that comes up. And I would be disappointed to see a 5-star match go away from the show.
It would be great to see Ziggler as a heel again, especially a protected heel, almost like Shawn Michaels. Because, I mean, he's not the biggest guy, so if he has protection in front of him, like Seth Rollins was. Ziggler can go that route, so who knows?
Seth had a lot of protection.
He sure did.
But yeah, no, I like what Christian's saying. I mean, yeah, let him go Anakin Skywalker with it. He gets seduced by the dark side. He becomes part of the Authority. I mean, I really enjoyed this match. With everything from, like, with Stephanie, when her face outside of the ring while they were doing the match, you saw her looking at Triple H like, don't funk this up for us, baby. Yeah. It's like, this is going to happen. And it's just so much in this match. Like, so many times, like, oh my God, Dolph is going to win. No. Yes! No.
So
okay,
good.
No. Barricade on the ribs and the pedigree, and then that beautiful DDT that he did.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, that was gorgeous. It was so well executed. I mean, I want to see this again. I mean, I know they recycle matches. I'm okay with
You
this.
might see it again. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
want it.
We got a lot to get to.
I guess we got about 5 minutes. We gotta haul it.
Yeah.
All right. After the match, Roman Reigns knocks around Triple H. Speaking of color, gets Triple H super bloody. Hits him with a TV that was still, I guess, somehow plugged in, which was one of them wireless TVs. But wow, beat the holy hell out of him. A lot of boos during that from Pittsburgh.
So, I thought you meant booze.
No, not boos. A lot of people booing at the fact
Got
that
it.
Roman Reigns beating up Triple H, which once again, it sucks for Roman Reigns due to no fault of his own. He's working his ass off, but there's a lot of fans that still don't want this version of Roman Reigns. Honestly, God, to me, this is not going to be the last match of WrestleMania. It's going to be Shane and Undertaker if that's indeed the match we get. But when you have, I mean, the boos were audible. They were loud.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe they
That's
just
a concern.
wanted Triple H to tag Steph in, and that was actually. I just think what should happen is that he needs to do something with his face. Roman Reigns. Stick with me here. I mean, think of it with like Kane, where he had the mask and all the greasiness, and it's just, I know he's so pretty. He's so pretty, and you're so used to him. I think he needs to do like what Heath Ledger did with like Joker. He needs to do something, maybe just a big old bloody handprint in the middle or something.
Interesting,
like,
okay.
With the heel turn, just change this. Because he has the body language of it. It's just, I don't know. People are too used to him.
I think you're touching on something that I can get down with. I mean, maybe like a full beard or some sort of hair change, something going on.
Something.
I just think that he's not carrying this as well. But I want everyone that's watching to hypothetically, for just a moment, imagine him as a heel. Now, do you really think that he could be a believable heel if you're having trouble finding him to be a believable face?
Who, Reigns?
Yeah, I mean, if you turn him heel the way everyone seems to suggest all the time would make him more over, make it better, make the segments more believable, could he pull that off?
I mean, he was over with the Shield when all he did was beat people up and say 3 words.
But that's the thing, he's a monster. He needs a manager, first of all.
Of course
and I'm
he
a
does.
manager. Hit me up, Roman Reigns.
There you go.
That's right.
But yeah, he needs a manager to protect him, and he just should go out there and kill people. If you put Roman Reigns in the Brock Lesnar role, I think he'd do well at it, you know. But I guess they think differently.
There you go. Oh, funny comment from Monsieur Melancholy. Roman Reigns should bring in his brother Luther Reigns. If we all remember him.
Yes, Horseshoe. Shoe Daddy.
God.
Love it.
Just quick shout out to Nick Madrid for saying we all look adorable. One of the retired great
Nick.
wrestlers of Southern California.
Love that guy.
Yeah. So,
Old Daddy Nick
Yeah.
with his little mustache. Jacqueline's going to be in the Hall of Fame. We love that. Well deserved. She's going to get to do it in Dallas, her hometown. That's great. R-Truth dressed as a Pittsburgh Penguin. Didn't know he was in Pittsburgh. And it looked like they were finally going to get together as a tag team. Dog, will you be my Penguin? And Goldust says no and walks off. I don't know where this is going. Eventually, what else can you do besides dress up as a penguin? I mean, I would accept friendship at that point.
I think in sometimes there's segments on this show that aren't going anywhere, but they are really entertaining, and this is definitely
Truth and
one of them.
Goldust are fantastic, so let's keep it going, whether they're a team or not. Whatever. Chris Jericho has a bit of an odd finish with Neville. I hope he didn't hurt himself.
Certainly what it looked like.
Yeah, fingers crossed he didn't, but Jericho gets DQ'd by pushing, I think it was Charles Robinson.
Yeah, little Nate.
And then afterwards, he says, AJ Styles, who's your daddy? Which is kind of funny.
Yep.
AJ Styles hits the ring, hits the phenomenal forearm, and that's a match that I think we're looking for at WrestleMania.
I'm only on board with that move name if they spell forearm with a PH.
Yep.
Only on board with it if that's the case.
Agreed. So, I mean, that's a match that's certainly going to happen at WrestleMania, right? One-on-one?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I feel like I felt like they cut a little bit early because I feel like AJ Styles was doing the you, me, and then point to the sign, and then they cut before he could point to the sign.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know if that was the case, but that's speculation on my part.
Yeah, he's like, you, me, pizza?
Right. Just gonna bro out later.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a match that we could all get down with. I mean, there's a lot of matches shaping up. The question is, what is the final card going to be? We'll know relatively soon.
Yep.
And the last segment of the show, Vince McMahon. He makes Lillian Garcia announce him for the second time again. And he says he's going to crush his son's dreams and make him an impotent shell of himself. And he says, but I don't have to lay a glove on Shane. I have someone that'll do it for me. The Undertaker. He hits the ring and Vince says, don't ever put your hands on me ever again. To which Undertaker takes his jacket off. He's like, you know what? My bad.
Maybe I spoke too soon.
Yeah.
It's like, I apologize.
Indeed. Some might call it an unholy alliance. I call what's best for business.
I call it the writers slept on this and took way too long, and now we're screwed with this crap. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Keeping it
calm
easy.
down, man. Calm down.
This is one of the greatest WrestleMania acts year after year, The Undertaker is the thing to watch at WrestleMania. And last year, we saw him on one Monday Night Raw before he faced off with Bray Wyatt. And now this year, he's facing a 50-year-old son of the owner of the company, who is one of the great wrestlers of the late 90s, and Shane McMahon. But do we know that he still has it? Or is this going to be Vince McMahon versus Bret Hart 2010? Is it going to be a gimmick match, as we know? What is going to happen with this? I just wish that there was more heat. Let The Undertaker be a heel. Have him cut a promo about why he's with Vince, and Vince has stood by me since 1990, and the dead man and the man are here to kill this, whatever Shane McMahon's dreams are. But right now, it's like Taker doesn't care that he's with McMahon. McMahon wants, Taker to do his dirty work, but Taker's threatening him, and
everyone's sort of lukewarm.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
you're 100% right.
That's perfect.
Drop that mic.
Yeah, no, it's like the sign that was behind Vince where it said Vince's booty. I agree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like all of the interactions are kind of lukewarm except for Shane and Vince. But everything with The Undertaker, it's like, yeah, I guess I'll do this match. But I think it'll be gimmick. I think it'll be a gimmick match in that we're gonna see Shane get wrecked.
Yeah. But who wins, Tyler?
I think I had read. It might have been someone on.
I don't want spoilers.
Well, it's not spoilers. It
hasn't happened. How
can't,
could it be a spoiler?
It can't be a spoiler, Jonny Loquasto.
Why can't it be?
But
it doesn't exist yet.
It's someone making a prediction, the way that we do here, Johnny.
Fine.
But someone predicted that they think that it might just run the whole course of Shane getting a little bit of offense in, but getting completely ruined, and then Taker kind of sacrificing the win for Shane. But dude, I don't know.
I don't think they could possibly do that.
No,
you don't think they could possibly do that?
I don't think they could possibly do that.
I think it's certainly possible.
No.
I just don't.
It's extremely possible.
No, if they're not putting Bray over.
Look, we have to wrap it up. Basically, Raw ended with Shane getting chokeslam from The Undertaker because Vince pushed him into him. Like I said, last week Raw was amazing. Tonight there was a lot of confusion, but we still got a couple weeks to figure it all out. Bottom line is it's WrestleMania, 100,000 people. We're all excited for it, and we want to be excited about everything, and that's what we're trying to do. So, with that said, put yourself over.
Follow me at XGenCole on Twitter, XTianCole on Twitter and Instagram. Paragon Pro Wrestling is a fantastic wrestling show. You need to check your local listings and watch that show, along with Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
That's right.
And check for me on PWG's DVDs coming up as their ring announcer. I love pro wrestling, and that's why we're here talking about it at 10 o'clock at night.
Okay, you can follow me at Markeia McCarty on Twitter and Instagram if you want to look at pictures at me of me. So for live comedy shows that I'm doing this week, Saturday at 8 o'clock at Improv Studio. I'll be part of Essence Improv. It's all black females, all classy ladies doing comedy. It gets raunchy. And on Sunday, the 20th, Top Story Weekly, I'll be in a sketch show at IO West, which is located in Hollywood, and that starts at 8 p.m.
Cool. Ty Matthews.
You can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, at Ty Matthews PMA, as well as various other after shows, including The Magicians in less than an hour now. Special guest Rose Liston tonight, one of the stars of the show.
Check it out.
Also, Lucha Underground and Second Chance.
Boom. At Jay Quasto on Twitter, jlocomedy.com. Got some shows in the Brea Improv coming up. I'm actually headlining on Wednesday, April 27th, if you're in Southern California. Then I'll be in San Diego a couple weeks after that. Otherwise, just at jlocomedy.com, at Jay Quasto on Twitter. And buy this Austin Aries shirt, because it's a great shirt, and we can't wait to see him at TakeOver.
And
see you next week.
So watch CWFH.
Yes, watch us.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.